Good morning, guys. How we doing? How we doing? Welcome to another episode of the World Cup Review Show. Can you believe it? We're on episode 12 already. Where does it go? Where does it go, guys? And we're into the last 16 of the World Cup for 2026. Now, when we left you on Friday, there was the games to come between Australia and Egypt and Argentina and Cape Verde. And we've got the games to look back on from yesterday as well. We've got Canada versus Morocco and France versus Paraguay to look back on as well. Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe to the channel or drop a follow of whatever platform you're on. All the social media handles are down the bottom and it really does help. Also, guys, this episode will also be available in audio format as well, wherever you get your podcast from. It will either be available later on today or tomorrow morning, just depending on the time that all the checks are done. It will be uploaded as soon as it's available. So, with all that being said, let's get into today's episode of the World Cup Review Show, episode 12 on Wheelie FC TV, with me, Stefan. So, on Friday evening, we had Australia versus Egypt. Now, this went all the way to penalties, and Egypt won by four penalties to two. It was 1-1 after extra time, and there were some good goals in this game. There was goals from uh, there were goals from in my screens. Please up. Amim Ashur in the 13th minute for Egypt. Then there was a Mohamed Heni own goal in the 55th minute, which meant Australia equalised. Then it went to extra time. It was still 1-1 after that. Then it went to penalties, and Egypt progressed 4-2 on penalties. Now, the Australians at penalties, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, we weren't 100%. The first penalty from Harry Suter, who changed allegiance from Scotland to Australia, went over the bar, and then the fourth penalty hit the crossbar. So Egypt were very dominant on the penalties, and they thoroughly deserved to go through. Well done to Australia for getting to the round of 32, because it was still the round of 32 on Friday night. But Egypt progress um, to the round of 16 with their first ever knockout win, even though it's on penalties. They're still seeing that as a win, so well done to Egypt for getting through. And that means that Mo Salah is still in the tournament as well. He's still in the World Cup with Egypt, as is Cristiano Ronaldo with Portugal. So if they two face each other in a later round, that is going to be a very interesting battle. Now, also on Friday evening, guys, we almost, and this stress, almost had the most seismic shock in football, international football, ever recorded. And also on Friday evening as well in this game, you had one of the best goals that you will ever see from Sydney Lopez Cabral of Cape Verde. What am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about Argentina versus Cape Verde. Now, Argentina did come out on top, as you may expect, but it was after extra time. Now it was 1-all going into extra time with goals from Lionel Messi, Leroy Dorty of Cape Verde. He equalised in the 59th minute. Incidentally, Messi scored in the 29th minute. Then in extra time, Lisandro Martinez of Manchester United scored in the 92nd minute. Then Sydney Lopez Cabral with an absolute stunner in the 103rd minute of extra time. If you've not seen that goal, honestly, YouTube it, watch it. It is absolutely amazing. He cuts in from the right hand side, or the left hand side, sorry. He cuts in, dribbles past his marker, gets it on his right foot, takes a touch, puts it over to his left, and cuddles it in to the postage stamp on the right hand side of the goal. What a goal this was! It does actually start from outside the post and bends back in, but obviously you've got to see it to believe it. Please watch that goal from Sydney Lopez Cabal. And if that doesn't get the best goal in this tournament, at the end of the tournament, when they give out all the awards for best goal, most safe and all that, I would be very, very surprised. It was a stunning goal, and Cape Verde almost caused the most seismic shock in international World Cup football, but sadly, they just, and I mean just, fell short. But they can be very, very proud as a nation, as a team, of what they have achieved to get to the last 32 on their World Cup debut. It was just absolutely amazing. Now, bear in mind that this World Cup is the first World Cup ever with 48 teams. So they've done really well, and I sincerely hope in 4 years' time that they're back on the world stage, showing us what they can do again and again and again, because a lot of us think, oh, these smaller nations are just there to make up the numbers. Not in this case, not in this World Cup. Yes, perhaps with Curacao, but Cape Verde have really given a show of themselves, and they've done fantastically well. Congratulations to everyone in Cape Verde. You should be proud of how far your national team got in the World Cup. And I think there's a lot of football fans around the world going to take notice of these smaller island nations when it comes to tournaments like this now, because of what we've seen from the likes of Cape Verde, Curacao, Jordan, and Uzbekistan. You've all done yourselves proud, guys, and we hope to see you back on the world stage in 4 years' time. But Argentina do progress to the round of 16. They won that by 3 goals to 2, and they're in really into the nitty gritty. And you would expect the defending champions to go through, and they did. So then we go overnight into the Saturday, because bear in mind the Australia game kicked off at 8 p.m. UK time, and the Argentina game was 11 p.m. UK time. So overnight we go into the Saturday. Well, I'll say overnight, but there's no really any more overnight games now because we're into the knockouts. So the next game was the first game in the round of the last 16 between Canada and Morocco. It was 0-0 at half time. Then Kouhani scored 2 goals. He scored in the 50th minute and the 82nd minute. And Rahimi scored the final nail in Canada's coffin in 90+8 to give Morocco a 3-0 victory. Although Canada head coach Jesse Marsh maintains that Canada were the better team throughout that match. He says, and I quote, "We controlled the number 17 team in the world and we were by far the better team." Now, granted, yes, the Canadian national team will be forever held now as uh, Canadian heroes for the progress they've made in the World Cup. But it is one of the first co-hosts to exit the tournament at the round of the last 16 stage. But realistically, how can you say if you got beat 3-0 that you were the better team on the night? I just don't know. I was a wee bit confused by those comments, I must admit. But hey, like I keep saying, guys, I'm not a football manager. I'm just a podcaster. But Morocco progressed to the round of the last 8 into the quarterfinals, where they will take on France on Tuesday. Excuse me. After France beat Paraguay 1-0 with a penalty from Kylian Mbappe. Now, what makes this game very, very interesting was the fact that the referee was from Uzbekistan. Now, some of you may be thinking, an Uzbekistan referee, that sounds familiar. Well, yes, it was, because that is the referee that refereed the game between Brazil and Scotland and never gave Scotland anything. And let me tell you, in this game last night, he was just as awful. He missed vital fouls on the pitch. I don't know how this guy is a referee for FIFA standards. I really, really don't know how he is classed as a top referee. Yes, he did give France a penalty in the 70th minute, but that was only after a VAR review. FIFA really need to take a look at this guy because his refereeing styles are absolutely terrible. He's shocking. In my opinion, this guy shouldn't be allowed anywhere near major tournaments for FIFA. But having said that, in the first half of the game, Paraguay did play out their absolute skins. And they were using what you call the dark arts of football, slowing the game down to their pace, frustrating France, disrupting France's rhythm, and it worked for the most part. But then France brought on Doe, or Doe, however you pronounce his name, and when he came on, or when he comes on rather, he just changes games for France. He's very, very skillful on the ball, so he got tripped up inside the box and it was a definite penalty. But at first, the referee didn't give the penalty. He waited on the VAR to tell him what to do. And this guy, in my opinion, shouldn't be anywhere near major tournaments for FIFA. And with that off my chest, folks, France did qualify for the quarterfinals with a 1-0 victory against Paraguay. Thank you, Paraguay, for coming to the World Cup. You've really shown yourselves as well. And it was only 1-0. I thought this game was going to be a lot more, given France's performance against Sweden in the round of 32. I thought this game was going to be about 4-0, but it was only 1-0. So well done to Paraguay for keeping the score respectable. If you ask me, for the goalkeeper of the tournament, Orlando Gil from Paraguay could be right up there because he's made some brilliant saves this tournament. Obviously, if you're looking for player of the tournament, you've got a choice between Mbappe, Messi, and probably Harry Kane and Bako Saka would be up there as well. So that was the two games from yesterday. And we can look on to today's games, guys. We'll give you a quick look at today's games. So today we've got two games today. Obviously, the first game is between uh, Brazil and Norway at 9 o'clock tonight, UK time. Now, this one is going to be close. Do I think Norway could do it? It's possible. It is very, very possible. But then again, it is Brazil we are facing, so you just never, never know, guys. You never know what you're going to get with Brazil, but it is a Carlo Ancelotti side, so this could be either very close or Brazil could romp it. But I think with Haaland and Trossard and Co, this could be closer than a lot of people think, and it wouldn't surprise me if Norway just edge this maybe after extra time. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm predicting a Norway victory and Haaland to score. I'm not going to give you a score prediction, but I'm just predicting a Norway victory. It will be very close, and Haaland and possibly Trossard will be on the score sheet for Norway. Now we go to perhaps the biggest game of the day, of the weekend, of the round of 16. At 1 a.m. in the morning, UK time tonight, in the early hours of the morning, Mexico versus England in the Azteca Stadium. Wow, that is going to be some game. There has been a bit of a farce with the kickoff time. Allegedly, FIFA had spoken to both FAs, both football associations from Mexico and England about moving the kickoff time to 7:15 p.m. Because of thunderstorms in the area. But needless to say, about 24 hours later, maybe even 15 hours later, that was found to be a load of rubbish, a load of bahooey. Incidentally, the kickoff time wasn't moved after all that. It remained at 1 a.m., or it remains at 1 a.m. rather, for this evening. Now, being a Scotsman, I'm under the mantra of ABE at the moment, which stands for anyone but, and you can finish the rest. Now, Mexico is going to be England's toughest test by far, and I mean that. We've got Jimenez, we've got loads of great players, skillful players as well. We've got their 17-year-old in Mora. He's very, very highly rated. Now, with that being said, with the altitude and everything, because apparently Thomas Tuchel didn't get a really good night's sleep, and he's had a bit of a headache because of the altitude. Um, with the altitude and with the skillfulness of the players, I think things are in place for Mexico to run this very, very close. Do I hope Mexico win? Of course I do, guys. Of course I do. I'm Scottish, so I would love a Mexican win. But can I see England being them jammy selves and getting a few jammy decisions? I can see that as well, guys. I can most definitely see that. What do I think the score will be? I don't actually know. I could see this one going the whole way once again, all the way to penalties, and I could see England scraping through on penalties. But I severely hope that Jimenez and co will give them the toughest challenge they've ever had in their international footballing lives. And with the altitude at Mexico, it's going to be very, very tough. But only time will tell, and we'll look back on this fixture and the Norway Brazil fixture, or Brazil Norway, in Tuesday's episode of the World Cup Review Show, which will take us on to episode 13. Can you believe that, guys? I know, where's the time gone? But if I was to pick, I would say a Mexican win, but on penalties. It's going to go all the way. There ain't no doubt about that. It's going to be a great match. But Viva Mexico! Arriba, arriba! And come on, the Mexicans. That is my prediction. And that is us, guys. We've had a brief, quick look at the games for today. We've looked back on the games since Friday. We will be back with you on Tuesday, so do keep an eye out for that episode as well. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow whatever platform you're on. It does help the channel. It is much appreciated. So please, please do that, guys. As always, keep it wheelie, keep it real, take care, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then, Viva Mexico. Take care, folks. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye bye for now.